When you compare men's sports to women's sports, one certainly has more of a platform than the other. But one business here in Portland, Oregon is out to prove that when you give something a platform that traditionally has been undervalued or underappreciated, something magical happens.
This is what the status quo does not look like.
So I would say almost 95% of everything in here has been donated.
Yes, this is a bar, a sports bar, but owner Jenny Nguyen says if you look closer, you'll notice a small detail that makes this space special.
If all we're doing is changing the channel, all we do is take sports bar, switch these two letters around, and it started this idea that the tiniest changes sometimes make the biggest difference.
At the Sports Bra, all the channels are tuned into women's sports, the first bar of its kind in the world to do so. Born out of Nguyen, a lifelong sports fan, and her friend's frustration with the status quo of watching sports in public, like feeling out of place with the rest of the crowd, having to plead with staff to show games, or watching in silence.
I remember hugging a friend and being like, that was the best game I've ever seen. And she said, you know, it would have been so much better if the sound had been on. And right when she said that, out of frustration, I said, the only way we're ever going to watch women's sports in its full glory is if we had our own place. We would go out and we were disillusioned by whatever experience we were having. We would have this fantasy place that we would refer to, and we'd be like, oh, at the Sports Bra, gymnastics would be on. Or, oh, at the Sports Bra, you know, they'd have gluten-free buns for our burgers.
The inside joke turned into a business in April of last year with signature cocktails like the Title IX and an unrelenting policy, women's sports only.
You know, we get calls all the time of like, right now they're like, are you guys showing the Lakers game? And we're like, who are the Lakers?
It was a gamble, but it was quickly a success. Women's sports viewership is skyrocketing. A report by Saba TV, released at the end of last year, gave a glimpse at the audience year-over-year growth. The women's 2022 March Madness viewership increased 81% compared to last year. The 2022 WNBA Finals increased 171%, and the 2022 National Women's Soccer League Championship a 435% year-over-year increase. Women's sports also resonate with younger audiences. 39% of Gen Z sports fans say they're watching more women's sports.
People are getting more eyes on things that they haven't had access to, whether that's through social media, through more streaming services, or big network deals.
What can't be calculated, however, is the community that is being built, how people feel safe and seen gathering in this bar.
You know, when you're not having to fight for it, when you're not having to defend it, and it's open and welcome, it creates that freedom of energy to just dream bigger. Like, it's almost like a launching pad for the possibilities. Like, you can come here and you can see what is happening right now. Now what is next? Like, let's dream bigger.
Nguyen's hope the success of the Sports Bra inspires other locations in the future, and that her example of breaking the sports status quo inspires others.
I just feel very, very optimistic about the future of women's sports. It's going to take a lot of work, but we're all here for it.
Vanessa Mashani, Scripps News, Portland.